All right, what's good, y'all? So let's react to this Indiana versus Ohio State game, man. Crazy game, man, but it was really a good one. Defensive battle, old school style. Indiana obviously wins their first championship since 1967. First one outright since I think 1945. This was big for them. And you got to give this man credit because he's an elite football coach. He just is, man. I mean, what he's done for that program and that team, started at JMU, had both winning seasons there. They just had started out in the program. James Madison looks like they're going to be pretty much a powerhouse when it comes to group of five teams. They likely should make a CFP, obviously coming out tomorrow at noon. So he's been able to do his thing, man, there. And then obviously, like last year, they get to the CFP playoff. Yes, they lost to Notre Dame. Then this year, 12-0, and you beat a really good team, an elite team in Ohio State, and you capture, obviously, a Big Ten championship. This coach is elite, man. Twice Big Ten Coach of the Year. He is elite, bro. He's one of the best in the business. So I wanted to give Coach Ignetti obviously credit there. But this defense for Indiana is something special, man. Did you see what they was able to do in this game? They was battering and bruising Julian Sand all game. You know what I'm saying? They made him uncomfortable. They was blitzing. They was bringing different packages. The defensive line was winning. They was all over this man and sacked him, I think, 5 times in the game. Like, that is how you get it done. They were relentless. I really like Elijah Hemby. He balled out. And my bad, y'all. I meant to say Elijah Hardy. That dude is a stud. Number 21, 10 tackles in his game, a sack, and 1.5 tackles for loss. Dude was all over the field, man. I mean, he's a stud. And it was really hard for Ohio State to get their ground game going. Like, Bo Jackson, they had some nice runs, you know what I'm saying, in the game, but they struggled throughout the game, man. He gets my game ball on the defensive side of the ball. And shout out to D'Angelo Pons. Now, look, Jeremiah Smith cooked him for 8 catches, 144 yards. But he still was over there and doing what he could do, taking away those red zone opportunities, right? Gave up some big plays, of course, down the field, but he's a star player when you look at, obviously, Jeremiah Smith. So the fact that he was able to do that and take away some of those plays, I think, said a lot. So those two on defense, man, they get my game ball. And obviously Isaiah Jones with his 2 sacks on the night, man. They was after Julian Sand all day. They gave different looks. It wasn't just blitzing. It was zones. And they really sped him up. It wasn't until they started rolling him out and getting him on the run, mixing some things up where they started to have a little bit of success. But every time they stopped him, that 4th and 1, they tried to go for the conversion. They stopped him right there. Every time they got to the red zone, they made it very, very difficult for this Ohio State team. So I love the way the defense played in this game. Now, shifting to the offense, I love, too, how, even though they didn't run the ball well, they still did a really good job of staying with it, right? Keelan Black had 16 carries. Roman Hemby had 13 carries, right? And they didn't have the best games, but they sticked with it. And them sticking with it, and even though Ohio State slowed it down, they were able to hit on big plays and big moments in that game, right? The 3rd and 6 from Fernando Mendoza to Charlie Becker to pretty much end the game. That was massive. And Becker had a lot of big plays. 6 catches, 126. He had a lot of plays in that game where Fernando Mendoza leaned on him, and he came up big time, whether it was the red zone, whether it was making a big play down the field. He was massive in this game for, obviously, Indiana Hoosiers. And think about it, they didn't have no Omar Cooper. He went down early in the game with, obviously, a lower leg injury. I think it was knee, ankle, they said. So you didn't have him, and then their DBs are really elite, right? They did a great job, too, of attacking Trayman Matthews all game long. That mismatch with him, obviously, and Charlie Becker for the game on the line. Him and Elijah Surratt on that touchdown catch they had in the game as well was massive, for Indiana, because they kept getting to the red zone but wasn't getting touchdowns. They was getting field goals, and remember, they missed the field goal as well. So that was obviously massive for them. And then, Fernando Mendoza, he had his moment, right? That 36, as I talked about, to be able to end the game, and it was big time. But my game ball goes to the defenses. I thought they both did an outstanding job. They made it tough. Obviously, Fernando Mendoza had his moment, ended up winning a Big Ten championship game MVP. But the defenses get my game ball. Both were elite tonight. Sonny Styles had over 10-plus tackles. Caleb Downs had 8 tackles. They made it tough for both teams to get it going in key critical situations. But Indiana was able to make more plays down the stretch of the game, which really prevailed and helped them out. And they were battle-tested. Those games against Oregon, Penn State, that prepared them for going up against the number 1 team in the country. And I still like Ohio State. I still think they're a formidable bunch and a formidable team. They're just going to have to figure a couple things out before, they obviously get to the postseason. But we've seen this before. This ain't a new story with Ohio State. They came in lower ranked, obviously going to the CFP, and they went on a run as the number 8 seed and won a national championship. So this is only going to make Ohio State better at the end of the day. Like Coach Signetti said, I have to make sure this team is prepared and get them boys hungry and humble and ready to go in 3 weeks. That's crucial because it feels good now. You're 13-0, won a Big Ten championship. But what matters is 3 weeks from now when you're playing playoff football. It's all out on the line. You don't want to have a 13-0 season and then get bounced in that quarterfinal round and be out in 13-1. You just don't want that. Last but not least, Ohio State fans, man, y'all chill on the kicker, man. Why y'all coming for the kicker for? It wasn't his fault. I know bro missed the kick, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't the only thing. Like, look at these comments. Enjoy 40 years selling used cars. Super windy dome, if I'd say. Indiana MVP. Thanks for the win, bro. You the GOAT. I have so much hatred for you. Osama bin Feldin. Like, y'all relax, man. You know what I'm saying? He shanked the kick. Regardless, it was 13-13. Y'all could have easily got the ball back. The defense couldn't make enough stops down the stretch of the game with like 3 minutes left. Fernando Mendoza, the running game, they made plays. Y'all couldn't get off the field. It ain't just the kicker fault, bro. Offense didn't do enough in this game to help the defense. They didn't make enough plays down the field. Turnovers, sacks, negative plays. And outside of Jeremiah Smith and a couple plays of Carnell Tate, they couldn't really attack the defense down the field. It was only a select few plays. So it ain't just the kicker, man. Y'all chill on him. It's the whole team. Nonetheless, man, that's my reaction, man. Big win for the Indiana Hoosiers, who obviously are Big Ten champions. Shout out to Coach Signetti. Shout out to Fernando Mendoza. And obviously Elijah Hardy. They balled out in this game. Really big win for the Hoos.